Let's
it's going
take
to be a
on to
hard
Division
division,
3
this
now,
one.
Johnny. Let's see the Division
Marwick
3.
Head. This is where some of the teams go a bit weird, especially when you come to the Peterhead Bloody Jets. So first off, we've got the Chester Hurricanes against the Peterhead Bloody Jets. The Chester Hurricanes, you've got Lamar Jackson, Derek Henry, David Montgomery, Tyreek Hill, Cooper Cup, Jaden Reed, Sam Laporta, Xavier Worthy, Jordan Addison, Ed McPherson, Terrell Bernard, and Patrick Queen. On the other side, you've got Joe Barrow, Reece Hall, Zamir White, Brandon Ayuk, Roma Dunze, Oliver Brown, George Kittle, Ezekiel Elliott, Adonai Mitchell, Harrison Butker, Mason Crosby, and Aidan Hutchison.
Yeah, so I like what the Chester Hurricanes have done here. I've got to say, again, do you know what I'm seeing quite a lot of teams that have got Henry when the teams that have got Henry, they tend to have followed it up with Montgomery for one reason or another. Maybe it's kind of just how they're kind of picking between the receivers and their backs and where they're picking them, and that's where these guys are falling. But I've seen Henry and Montgomery in the same team on
Oh yeah, a couple
numerous
times, yeah.
occasions, for sure.
I think
But I like
there's
what.
3 drafts that Stroud has been backed up by Stafford in 3 leagues.
Yeah, is that right?
So, yeah,
That's but yeah, I mean, I
that's
like
something
what
to
he's
be the
done
same.
there on Chester Hurricanes. Then you've got Hill, Cup, and Reed, which I think is an absolutely solid as a rock wide receiver. Starts, and then Laporta, obviously, it's a no brainer. Really, he's going to be one of the top 5 tight ends again. You've got to think there's no reason why not. And obviously, Addison at the time of the draft would have been a very strong pick. With McCarthy looking quite good and. It's the difference that the quarterback makes, but Worthy, brilliant. Yeah, so I like what he's done there on the left. I think that's a very strong team. Marks, I mean, Marks is fine. He's Burrow, Hall, White. Yep. Ayuk at the time again. You
Ayuk,
didn't know that
Dunze.
the trade
That's
nonsense.
the ceiling's high for Dunze. It's just like you said, a lot of mouths to feed in Chicago.
Yeah, it's the floors too. He's been drafted above where he should be for me for a rookie wide receiver with that many mouths to feed and a rookie quarterback. I think Roma Doomsday should be a kind of late pot pick to stick him in for this year. I think it's a great pick for Dynasty. I just think for this year there's a lot of mouths to feed, and as much as I do believe that Roma Doomsday will do well this year, and I think it'll be Keenan Allen that loses out, it could just as easily be a Doomsday.
Oh yeah.
And but yeah, I mean, I like his, that it's. I've got no problem with Elliott there as well. I think Elliott will do absolutely just fine this year, but he's got a lot of
So
defenders on the bench, Mark.
about to say this is where I think Mark had 6 defenders. So he's got the 2 starting, then he's got Williams, Thibodeau, Walker, McKinney, Gardner.
He got 2. Yeah,
So it's
that's too
literally no
much.
wide receivers on the bench, but he does have 2 wide receivers in the flex. So he's got 2 wide receivers, 2 running backs there. Davis obviously not, but Ford is a starter
4,
as well.
yeah,
So
absolutely.
I mean, it's crazy
But
to have that many defenders on your bench, absolute lunacy. But Mark is a machine of his own devices, isn't he, Johnny?
He is a bit, yeah.
And
I
on
like
the left,
The
Musgrave and
bench is okay on
Arnold.
the other side. Yeah.
I love
I think
Musgrave and
McMillan
Palmer
as
on the
well,
bench. I
actually.
think they're 2 very good ones on the bench. McMillan might get some touches. You never know. Corum, if Williams goes down, Corum's going to be straight in there and getting a lot of touches, I would say. So that's
So he's got 3
pretty decent.
defenders. So he's got 5 defenders.
Yeah, 3 defenders. It's just a waste of,
This
So
is
now you've got
running
Corum
backs.
as your only real cover at running back there, and that's where that kind of the weakness is shown for me. And then you've got
Week.
in the
He's got a week 5
Caleb
bye.
Williams on the bench. He's just not a quarterback that I would want sitting on my bench. He's really not. And Lamar Jackson, and when are you ever going to play Caleb Williams over Lamar Jackson in
Well, it'll
fantasy
be week
football?
14 in his bye week.
Lamar Jackson's bye week. That's about it.
Yeah, week
You so
14.
So you're wasting a whole entire bench spot for one week that late in the season when you could just go and pick up a Baker Mayfield who'll do
But
you
this
just
late in the
fine and
season, they
probably do
might
the
have already
same
won the league.
as
Well,
Williams,
this is a
And
Ports League. So
yeah, so I'm not of the bit, there's again, both have got some good things about them, but I can't pick either of these two because I have seen a hole.
There we go. So we've got the Darlington Dragons against the Birmingham Master Chiefs. There you go, Boyd. You got to mention the Darlington Dragons are Kyler Murray, Bijan Robinson, David Aitken, Drake London, Debo Samuel, Christian Kirk, Mark Andrews, Curtis Samuel, Tidy Spears, Dickory Kicker, Rickman Smith, and Alex Singleton. And the
Nice
Master
squad.
Chiefs have got Josh Allen, Saquon Barkley, Zach Moss, Garrett Wilson, Jalen Waddle, Calvin Ridley, Brock Bowers, Malik Neighbours, Chuba Hubbard, Jake Elliott, who you said to look on, and Shair.
Yeah, so do you know what I liked? I was liking the team on the left as it was running down. I love the running back room. I love the quarterback. I love the running back room. And then when we got to the flex spots, I just thought, oh, that's if that's what's in flex, I'm very cold
Samuel.
on Kirk this year. I'm very cold on Kirk. Samuel could be anything, he might be okay, he might do you well, but at the same time, there's a lot of ifs and buts in that wide receiver room at the moment. And Tajay Spears again, he's going to get his touches, but if Pollard's really good, then they'll diminish. So to have him in starting spot worries me what's on the bench. And then I really like the other side though. Hubbard, I'm not the biggest fan of, but he's certainly going to start very well. And I like him as a starter. Zach Moss as a starter as well. Who's on the bench because these guys are two guys that come middle of the season might not be seeing much of the field. So who's on the bench?
Dobbins. Dobbins is the only other one.
Yeah, I mean, estimate is
Dobbins,
the back end of the season. If Williams isn't doing it, might get in, might get a run. But the running back
Myers,
room worries me for that team there.
oh,
He's
Romeo
deep on
Dukes,
receivers. Yeah.
other side.
Rams Coleman.
And you've got, I mean, Coleman's the only one on that I'm jumping up and down about. Again, Kirk Cousins on the bench. I don't get why I have him. But
Yeah, I do
Mims
prefer
as
the
well.
Master
I mean,
Chiefs.
how many 0 point? I mean, he literally had negative games last year. So, I mean, I love the
Yes.
starting lineup on the left hand side, the Darlington Dragons starting lineup, especially the running backs and the quarterback. And for the Birmingham Master Chiefs, it's the running back room that slightly scares me. Just for Zach Moss is no certainty to be a season long
And then
thing.
Hubbard.
But I do love
Hubbard too.
I love
Hubbard's not a
Waddle.
lost
I
season.
love Wilson. And I love Brock Bowers, so a lot of good things going on there, but running back scare me. And on the left hand side, the bench scares me a little bit.
Yeah, because him having Moss and Hubbard, that kind of because Chase Brown and Moss, they're gonna split that 60-40, 70-30.
And then when Brooks comes in, Hubbard's getting, kind of come playoff time, Hubbard's going to be getting the Brooks is going to be getting all the touches. Hubbard will be a second thought. I mean, he'll still get
Oh yeah,
something, but the something that he's getting, you could cost you a playoff game because you still play him and he only gets you 4 points.
right.
There we
Here's
go. So we're going to
Porks.
go with
I
Pork's
better see
team.
Kendrick.
White Porker
I better see.
against the Wakefield
I better see
49ers.
Kendrick Miller.
So, no, he didn't get him, I don't think. Dak Prescott, Jonathan Taylor, Trey Benson, Puka Nakua, DJ Moore, George Pickens, Jake Ferguson, Troy Franklin, Lad McConkey, Brandon Aubrey, Derwin James, and Ernest Jones. Then the Wakefield 49ers, Patrick Mahomes, Christian McCaffrey, Josh Jacobs, Chris Olave, DK Metcalf, Chris Godwin, Evan Ingram, Najee Harris, Johan Dotson, Youngwei Koo, Fred Warner, and Brian Burns.
I'm
Mm.
worried for Pork in the sense that he's got Benson in as a starter and he's got someone else in there as a starting wide receiver that I can't remember now that scared me. Oh no, and then Franklin in as a starter as well.
Yeah,
That's
Frank. He
yeah.
must
I
have been
hope
drafted
Pork.
like it was dynasty.
Let's see Pork's bench before we go any further here. So he's got
Remember,
Liv, he's got Brown.
He picked Parsons in the 402, remember?
Oh
Yeah, I'm a
yeah.
little bit. I'm a little bit worried for him, and he's not getting any wide receivers there.
No.
He's got a couple of
Mm.
rookie running backs that are, yeah, I'm worried for Pork, I'm afraid. Sorry, Pork, but
I
I
think
hope he
Pork's
pull. I
worried
hope he
about
pulls off a
Pork.
trade.
So
He needs to pull off a trade.
your team won't be in my top team, that's for sure. And I was liking the starting lineup at the other side though. It's I'm not liking the bench too much though. But apart if you take Godwin out of it, I love that. I think, and of course, when you see CMC, you know that they were first, maybe second at a push, but you know they were first or second in the draft, so it's always difficult to draft from there. You know, the second player that's coming in, it's never quite the same as kind of you look at two guys and you see you know, Gibbs and Williams, and you think, oh, that's two really good players, but it's always such a drop off between the first and the second, and the teams that draft first
Hmm.
and second. So I think he's done really well there to get McCaffrey, Jacobs, Olave, Metcalf.
And Mahomes is the quarterback. He has Mahomes, CMC, and then to pull off like a DK and Olave on the end of Jacobs, like
I
and
mean,
that's
these are
Harris.
stout.
guys that win you games. It's and then plug in anyone else. The injury's obviously helping Naj quite a lot. The injury for Warren, so that upgrades Naj considerably. So yeah, I mean, I like this kind of what he's done there from where he was drafting in the first team certainly, and I love Johnson on the bench and Williams on the bench and Watson on the bench.
Hmm.
Watson will be fine. So I think he's got very good wide receivers there on the bench.
And he got Hawkinson to play in the second half of the season.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a playoff winner. That's why you bring him in. And yeah, I mean Mayfield, I don't get, but yeah, I think the team on the right actually it's winning me over very much so.
Boy,
You make feel 49
Yeah.
as 49. He's a 49ers fan though, so that kind of puts me off it.
So next up, we've got the Norwich Mustard Men against the London Eagles from Canada. We've got Jalen Hurts, Kieran Williams, James Cook, CeeDee Lamb, Nico Collins, Amari Cooper, Dalton Schultz, Tony Pollard, Devin Singletary, Jake Moody, Zaire Franklin, and Nick Bolton. And on the other side for London Eagles, you've got Jordan Love, Isaiah Pacheco, James Conner, AJ Brown, Mike Evans, Terry McLaurin, Dalton Kincaid, Brian Robinson, Cole Kmet, Greg Zerline, Miles Gallup, and Josh Hines Allen.
I like both of these teams.
Yeah.
I
They,
like the
yeah,
two
this,
the two quarterback picks in London Eagles. I like that. I like that, and it's Ingram and Kmet. I think have both got massive upside. So I do like that. And do you know the thing about picking them up? There are only so many tight ends that do have that upside. Or certainly there's only so many that are going to perform and get those points. So if you've got two of them, it's keeping them away from your opponents as well, who have to play at least one.
yeah,
And I like that kind of tactic of it as well.
they were pretty balanced. Both sides are balanced in this.
Yeah, very
I
much
like
so.
Pollard and Singletary in the flex. Like I can live with that.
Can if there's a couple of good receivers on the bench as well. At least the covers there. So Irving and Edwards-Helaire are not so important. But there you go. Yeah, Thomas and Lockett, fine
Thomas
bench for
Lockett,
receivers.
yes. Josh Downs, yep. And then Senate on the bench.
So yeah, I do like the options there that they have given themselves in terms of, they've got those two running backs in the flexes at the moment, but they do have the options there of the receivers, a couple of good receivers there. And certainly the team on the right, they've given themselves a lot of running back options, but
Yeah.
just how
They
many
got
of
what,
them are
Mike
going to.
Williams? There was Mike. I saw Mike Williams,
Yeah,
Pearsall.
Mike Williams there as well.
Greg Dortch is a sleeper. So I mean,
Yes, I mean, Dots could be anything, couldn't he? He could be the kind of number two in Arizona. No one really knows, so it could be him. I'm just pinning my hopes on it being Michael Wilson, so cold on
right.
Dots, but it very much could be Dots. There's no getting away from it. But yeah, run me up into the first team again, Johnny, the one on the right. On the Eagles, yeah,
Love,
it's
Pacheco, Conner, Brown,
I do love
Evans.
what they've done there with the kind of love and Pacheco. I'm very high on. Indeed, he's in my team. Connor, I think, is going to have a great season. And yeah, the one thing I don't like about it is two Washington Redskins in the same, because that offense could be great if Daniels is good, but it's going to live and die by a rookie quarterback. Let's face it.
Who's on their bench?
But it's still good that it's not two receivers. It's still yeah, and he got Daniels on the team.
And
Wow.
Daniels on the
But
team as
like
well.
you
Yeah,
got
so
he got the wide receiver one and the running back one on the. I mean,
it's
essentially it could be a stack if he plays all three of them and they're both getting catches and targets. I mean, it could work out. I like. I mean,
yeah.
both teams look good. I would me personally give the edge to the mustard men slightly, just a little bit.
Yeah, so would I. So would I. I would agree, and I do love the running back combination of Kyron Williams and James Cook. I think that's a wonderful RB1, RB2.
Hmm.
I think they will both be big point scorers week in, week out.
Okay, so next up we have the Nottingham Rebels against the Sandbach Satans. Nottingham Rebels are Anthony Richardson, Jameer Gibbs, Kenneth Walker, Marvin Harrison, Monty Adams, Kieran Allen, David Njoku, Joe Mixon, DeAndre Hopkins, Tammy Fairbairn, Tremaine Edwards, and Bobby Okereke. And Sandbach Satans, you've got Brock Purdy, Rashad White, Alvin Kamara, Justin Jefferson, Stephen Diggs, Jay Flowers, Travis Kelsey, T. Higgins, Aaron Jones, Daniel Carlson, and Daniel Hunter, and CJ Mosley.
I could tell you what Craig is going to say. He's going to say he doesn't like Diggs on the right side and doesn't like Allen on the left.
It's one of those ones that is, so
Eh,
isn't it?
And
But do you know
Allen on
what
the
I like
left.
about the one on the
But they're
right?
balanced. These are the two other good teams, though. I mean, they have those are the two that stand out that can is either boom or bust. But everyone else they have around them is pretty solid.
I love the Sandbach Satans, and the reason I love the Sandbach Satans team here is because I know that, and do you know that way, see, when you start going down, Johnny, and I'm watching, I'm thinking, oh, I love that, I love that, I love that, and then it gets to that one name, and you go, ooh. But see, when you put the one name on the right hand side, but see, when you go down and you look at the flex spots, the two people that they've got in the flex positions, and you see it's T. Higgins and Aaron Jones, you've got an
Yes.
RB1 and wide receiver who, will be fighting for wide receiver ones, positions in fantasy, with Burrow thrown to him. So I think that's got tremendous upside. When you look at the other side, you've got, Mixon, yes, absolutely, he should do absolutely. But then you've got Hopkins, and there's so many question marks around Hopkins. So I do think those flex spots tell a big story about the teams. So it's Allen and it's Hopkins on the left hand side that just I'm not fans of. So let's see what's on the bench to fill the holes. Gus
I
Bus,
like
Gibson.
yeah. I like Sutton, Gate Davis, Shakir, Chase Brown. Yeah, I like the bench on the right a lot more. Dallas
Me
Goddard.
too. I can't be having two defenders and a kicker on the bench and so cold on the mute. So I think that they'll get decent cover at running back there on the left, but I don't get Rodgers on the bench either. Leave him in agency, he would stay there. But yeah, I agree with you, Everett. I like the bench on the right hand side here. So yeah, that's what's that team name again, Johnny?
Sandbag
Sandbach Satans.
Satans.
Sandbach Satans. There, that's my favourite so far.
So we've got the Guildford Raptors against the Gorgie Vikings, Grotty. The Guildford Raptors, Jared Goff, DeAndre Swift, Raheem Mostert. Well, just stop after saying DeAndre Swift.
I'm out.
Jamar Chase, Michael Pittman, Devontae Smith, Kyle Pitts, Jalen Warren, who's going to be out, Eckler, Bass, Watt, and Winfield. And Grotty's got CJ Stroud, Travis Etienne, Ramondre Stevenson, AJ Brown, Tank Dell, Rasheed Rice, Trey McBride, Nick Chubb, Javonte Williams, Justin Tucker, Nick Bosa, and Montez Sweat.
Uh,
Mm.
who's he going to have to come in for Chubb, because obviously Grote's on the right. Grote, he's going to have to replace Chubb, obviously. So, but yeah,
Yeah.
I think he's actually starting lineups pretty decent, Johnny. I mean, Williams is going to be at least start as the number one in Denver. Whether he keeps or not, it's a different matter. But if Rice is playing, it's a steal. Tank Della love, Amon Ra love. Ramondre's going
Hmm.
to do absolutely fine. Etienne's going to do fine. Stroud's. going to do fine. I thought he's done all right there in the starting lineup. I hope he's blew it in the bench.
Yeah, just the team on the left, like Swift and Mostert. I can't. That's just
No,
RB1, RB2. That scares me for the long haul.
yeah, me too. I couldn't be colder on the. Yeah, I'm very cold on that running
Nice
back room.
receivers, though.
I like the
Yeah, yeah, the
receivers:
receivers
Smith, Pittman,
seem
Chase.
to be
Yeah,
good. But then
And
the
then obviously they've
flexes
lost
here as
Warren.
well, because Warren's got to go,
Warren and
and
Eckler in the
Eckler,
flex. I'm not. Yeah,
there's there's every
That's
chance Eckler's finished, so that's a bit scary. But what are the benches like here? Tell me, Grote's got a terrible bench.
well, he's got
I like
Levis,
his
Right,
receivers
Higby,
on the bench.
Charbonnet.
Charbonnet, Kendry
Oh, thank
Miller.
goodness.
He's got Polk, Leggett, Judy,
And Judy
and
and
Johnson.
Johnson. I like. Yeah, he finished
I
strong,
like those
but
four.
yeah, but on
Those
the left,
three
I
are a
like
bit
Shaheed, and Jigba, Brandon
gone
Cooks.
quiet.
I would start Njigba and Shaheed over Eckler and Warren.
100%.
He's
But I
maybe
mean, he
not changed
probably
his
will.
stone.
To be fair, it's the starting weeks are way away. So yeah, he does have sort of good cover there on the bench, at least the left hand side, so options there. And Grote's receivers and that are strong. It's his backs that are a problem for me. I mean, Charbonnet might be fine, but I mean, if you're a big Walker fan, I can't. You can't be on totally on board with Charbonnet as well, and I'm a big Walker fan, so
This would be
that's
why
put
Pork didn't get Condry Miller because Grote got him.
Grote got him.
He might
That's
trade his best player for Kendry Miller. That would help Grote.
but yeah, I mean, I don't hate Grote's team. I've got to say that's very, very disappointing. I like hating Grote's team, but he's actually done that pretty well, I think. Boys studying and
Mem-
boys learning, Johnny. Boys learning.
Remember last year, I don't know the exact team, but McGonagall got Travis Kelsey of Pork for three players,
Yeah,
and one
yeah, I
of them was
remember
Kendry Miller because he wanted Kendry Miller. So Grote might
remember the
just go
trade.
knock on the
Yeah,
door, get a decent player, and get rid of his Charbonnet, Miller, and somebody else just to get fucking just so Pork can get his Kendry Miller.
can't imagine that Port would be that dumb, but you never know.
He does love
You
Kendry
never
Miller.
know.
We
So
thought that when he gave away Travis
taking.
Kelsey.
I am going to take the team from the last game, the one that with the Sandbach Satans for me here, Johnny. Please, thank you.
And
I'm going to go with the Birmingham Master Chiefs.
and I will go with the Norwich Mustard Men.
That was my second choice was the Mustard Men, but yeah, there's a couple of good.
Right.
There'll be 5 good teams in this division that'll be battling for the top spots, and then the rest will be middle of the table to lower.
Yeah,
I think
I'm not.
there's
I
going to be
wouldn't
a
be
gap
ruling
in this one.
anybody out at this stage. At the end of the day, everyone's got. There are good parts to everybody's team because that's how they're drafted. Everyone gets some superstars, and it's all about managing the other part of it, the kind of ones that are behind and not being too sold on your guy, your big guy. If he's not doing well, put him on the bench. Don't think you have to play your second round pick, your third round pick. You don't. You can bench them if someone else is doing better.
And then try
And
to look
that's
for
the thing.
trade.
I
A
wouldn't
trade or
rule
two,
anybody out
and
at this point.
a trade or two could just change the dynamics of a team.
Absolutely, absolutely. A couple of
Yeah,
pickups, a couple of big pickups from agency because there are players in agency.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
yeah.
So we're
Well,
going for
that's
the
it.
fourth division, Johnny.
The what do you call it? Cam Akers got
Whenever
picked up
Vidal's
over
been dropped
Vidal.
to agency.
Oh, Cam Akers
Oh,
in Houston now, right? Yeah. So
Yeah,
Damian Pierce has
yeah,
his work cut out for him.
all right. Yeah, he's not
it's
that great anyway.
it
So
very much puts me off
and
Damien Pierce as a handcuff to mixing. It really does because of that.